Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Weigh-In, a special episode. The title of today's episode is Kamala Harris, the Wild Card.
Perfect title.
Yeah.
And what a true wild card she is.
Yeah, so let's talk about Kamala Harris. So, half black, half Asian, half black, half Indian, maybe part Asian. Like there's a little bit of discrepancy when I was.
I've heard that.
Yeah, so I'm not sure.
Clearly the Indian aspect, though.
Yes, Vice President-elect,
Wow.
soon to be future Vice President, first female Vice President, former U.S. citizen. Former obviously a U.S. citizen, former U.S. senator, first female Attorney General of California, first district attorney of San Francisco, a courtroom prosecutor, daughter, sister, wife, stepmom, aunt.
Joe, thank you for the call. I know. Joe, what a call, man. What a call. Yeah. I mean, her acceptance speech was fantastic. She just was able to instill everything that I felt about her, and what a great episode this is today because of the fact that we're giddy about this also, and if we were females, obviously we'd be extremely exuberant and happy and whatnot. And it's pretty mind-boggling that this took place.
And the thing is, with Kamala, it's monumental because it's historic. First female Vice President. That's huge. That opens a lot of doors.
Oh, it really does.
She's a woman of color, so there's the optics on that, but just showing in America that the America that we live in right now is not defined by color. Like, you can be anything. Anybody can come from any background, and reach the highest levels of leadership in this country, and this is who the American people voted for. So I think that's a beautiful thing. I think what it says about America really stands out for all of us, and I'm very excited. I'm very happy. I'm proud to be. I've always been proud to be American, but obviously it trumpets things up just a little bit more.
Well, Biden's extremely perfect strategic planning on how she was chosen is mind-boggling. It's the culmination of all the stresses and everything that happened with Hillary and the fact that she wasn't able to pull it together, and obviously Trump got in there the first time around, as we know. I mean, it's all history. It was all meant to be. It was all kind of like cosmically meant to be.
Serendipity?
Yeah, without a doubt, times 10 when you really think about it. Because, I mean, if Kamala just came out of the blue and they decided to run for presidency with, Joe, when it wasn't following the Trump, they probably would not have won.
It wouldn't have been as strong as a combination as it is now.
Yes, I mean, all the losses and the sadness and everything that Hillary did, she actually did a lot for the party, even though she has some baggage and whatnot. But what she did was still extremely important. And I wish, and they have talked about her, it would be nice if she would get a little nod here and there. And I think she will in the upcoming year of 2021.
We'll see. We'll see.
But it's still pretty impressive that Kamala is in with Joe. And man, I'm telling you, both of those two together and their acceptance speeches, they were low key in the sense they didn't bring any new dynamics to anything. They just reinstilled all the thoughts that we love and we believe in as good humans and good Americans.
Yeah, Kamala, the vice president. So her role in the Biden administration. So the vice president's role is to preside over the Senate and be the tie-breaking vote if needed, as well as succeed the presidency if the sitting president cannot perform his appointed duties. So with that being said, I wonder, it's gonna be very interesting to see her relationship with the Senate, because we've seen Kamala, when she's been in her more interrogator role as far as
the Kavanaugh trials. Yeah. She was insane. Matter of fact, that's probably the first time, aside from the California stuff, that she really stood out as a person who would be good in her role.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they coalesce and how they receive Kamala. Because obviously, she's a no BS woman. She's really
right to the point.
From what I've seen, and what I know and what I've researched, she's a by the book, about the people, stern woman, and I'm very, very interested to see how the Senate receives her, because right
she's
now
she's not going to let anybody down. Trust me.
Like right now as it stands, it's majority, Republican, but that could change, in the
you got a double runoff in Georgia.
Yes,
so that's important.
So that could definitely change, but we'll see, and and Biden being who he is, hopefully he can have us all united, but we'll see. We'll see. So I also like to talk about her legacy as a role model. So it's not just the titles that she's garnered, AG, DA, vice president-elect, future vice president, it's everything going beyond that. And I don't want to focus too much on the fact that she's a woman of color, but you can't discount that.
You can't discount it, but why not love it? Why not enjoy it and take it to the next level? I think play it up. Why not, right?
I definitely agree.
Right? I'm not saying that you were wrong or anything. I just think here we are. We're thinking because the rigidity of America and all the politics and the way it is,
gender, sex, and how things go.
She's in the role. They won the role. Go all the way with it.
Yeah,
you could go your own way, man.
It's just it's gonna be funny, to see, the majority of the Senate is made up of men. It's going to be funny to see how they react to her. But, all that aside, just the young girls that are able to look up to this woman who is going to be the vice president. This has never happened in the history of this country. It's amazing. A close personal friend of mine was weeping tears of joy, because she knew, and she has a daughter, that one day her daughter could be the vice president. You need those trailblazers. You need those people to do it first. And sometimes when you have a position that has not been, occupied by a certain person, or, you feel like maybe we'll never get there. Like with Obama having, a black president.
We got the black president.
Yeah, but once you actually see it, it means so much more, because now it's attainable. It's not just a wish. It's not just, magical thinking. You now say to yourself, it's here.
Sure,
if one person could do it, the floodgates are open, so maybe we can get more of this. And I think just the perspective, the background, we need that. So
I saw it with Barack, and how young black males and regular males in general reacted.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it with Kamala, and we almost took it for granted for a minute or two there until, as the election looks like it was going to turn the way for the Democrats.
Yeah.
We started to realize that a lot of ladies were thinking about this the same way we thought about that when Barack won.
No.
And lately, there's been a lot of talk about it, and it's really stunning, and it makes me feel good. My 2 granddaughters are thrilled about it. My wife is thrilled about it. I mean, we always take for granted how women feel about things. This is a time for them also.
Yeah.
And like I said, Joe made an amazing decision to choose her.
Yeah, because they were a bit at odds,
during the primary. Sure.
Yeah, but they got past that.
That's what you do. It doesn't mean you're really mad at your friend who's part of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
It's just you have to prove the fact that you're not light. You're not weak.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that she really truly despises the man. Same way he didn't despise her.
No, absolutely.
And a professional will appreciate each other later on. And when he invited her on, I mean,
that was beautiful.
She's blown away by it. Every time she talks, she's truly, legitimately, from her heart, affectionately blown away by, Joe, we did it.
Yeah.
That one video when this. What a video, man.
Yeah.
I really feel for her.
I was personally touched by it.
Me too.
So, speaking of her public image, so she comes off as being a very tough, stern, urban woman, to use those words. I personally think that she should make her image just a tad bit more pliable going forward. That's just my personal opinion. That's not his.
How far would you
just
mean
exactly
a little, pliable?
Just a little accessible. Definitely would use that. Flexible, because
I think she will.
Being a politician, being in politics, you have to negotiate, you have to work with other people. Joe is touted as being very good at that. So I don't know if Kamala has the same, mechanisms of action, the same techniques, we'll definitely see. We'll definitely see in the next 4 years.
I haven't noticed any alarming red flags or anything. I think she'll be fine. She'll adjust.
Yeah, but it's just public perception, and then once the media kind of gets in and how they may paint her. So I'm just saying, this is my personal opinion, and I could definitely be wrong, but I think she should come off, at least in not the first year, but maybe the second year, is a bit more flexible and a bit more, not that she's not willing to work with people or that I know that, but she should just come off willing to greet both sides. It's just a thought.
It's a great thought, and I think actually both of them are smart enough to realize that, and obviously she is also. She's not going to come off to be, like too standoffish or too tough, because you don't want to end up with the Hillary syndrome,
Yeah.
If that's a terminology.
It might be a terminology now.
We just invented it.
The Hillary syndrome.
But I actually think Kamala is a much better seated person for the particular situation that she's in. And that's a good situation. I'm not saying it's a bad situation.
And
I expect amazing things from her. She might even blow Joe away at times, but Joe and her will definitely... It's an amazing combination. I never thought this would be this good.
I think that her grit is going to very much coalesce with Joe's... I don't want to say easygoing, but his more than willingness to work with everyone.
But that's good, because in the past he's been able to talk to Mitch McConnell,
yes,
and Lindsey Graham, and even John McCain. I mean, they were tight buddies. They were from both sides of the aisle.
Yes,
and they crossed over and they would talk to people. That's the key that Joe can do.
Yeah, that's what we really.
And
need.
Joe's already said that, and we need that badly, don't we?
Yeah, no, we definitely need that. That's what we definitely need for everybody to coalesce, for everybody to unite, to come together as one America.
Because we're Americans. We're not enemies. We're opponents, but we are still Americans.
So the big question that everybody's going to be talking about, because it's in the back of everyone's mind.
Say it.
Future president of the United States. So,
well, you don't mean like necessarily in this term, but potentially in the future.
Obviously not in this term, but I'm 100% sure her team, her camp has set eyes on her being the next president of the United States.
Well, if everything goes well, I think it's safe to say that they're going to have to groom her for that particular that potentiality.
I think that they did that prior, and I think that they obviously did it prior because she campaigned. But I think now,
and Joe accepted that theory too.
No, definitely Joe definitely accepted that theory. But I think right now, with her locked in as the vice president,
it's inevitable.
It's almost inevitable. That she's going to be the successor, of Biden. And
I would say you're dead on that prediction there at all. But, she has to be strategically on her game. She has to do the right things in that first year.
This is where the pliability comes in, and her being able to work, her making those connections, her gaining that political capital, because she's got to sit in front of Congress. She's got to sit in front of the Senate, and work with these people every day for the good of the American public. Because that's what... Honestly, boiling politics down or boiling, what the president or vice president does is to work for the American people. That's where they need to go. That's where we need these people.
Well, they're smart enough to know that's where they are going to go.
Yes.
And obviously more so than Mr. Trump did also, obviously. I mean, Trump had an agenda. He had a narrow vision. It was a tunnel vision of where he wanted to go. Very myopic. And I think these two are not that myopic.
They're for the people.
They're for the people. It's wide open. The spectrum is wide. It's large. And they're going to go the right direction. I will guarantee they are going to blow you away, folks.
So I just want to say, if you're not subscribed to the weigh-in, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification button. There's a lot of interesting things that we have, on our channel. Please check it out. I want to give a congratulations to President Joe Biden. But right now, I want to give all the congratulations, all the love, all the good energy to Kamala Harris. Thank you very much. I expect good things. I do not perceive you letting us down. And, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. God bless America.
Without a doubt.
That's the weigh-in.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the weigh-in. Don't forget, support your local liquor store.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Kamala.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe that we can with Joe Biden. You know, congratulations, Joe Biden, president-elect, who will be the president of the United States of America, the 46th president, 2021. I'm excited. I'm elated. Let's go.
First off, there could never be anybody right now who could be in a better position to have been the president of the United States of America. When you look at the fact of how long he's been into politics, since the early 70s,
yes,
it is pretty stunning, as you brought up earlier today. Was it like 73, I think it is?
Yeah, so let's go in a little bit. Like,
let's break it down a little bit.
So who is Joe Biden? United States Senator from 1973 to 2009. Vice President from 2009 to 2017. President-elect and soon-to-be President of the United States of America 2021. Lawyer, husband, father, son, brother. Joe Biden, who will lead us out of this nightmare. Let's go.